discussion similarly postponed in December and February. Meanwhile, Nigeria's Governors Forum has agreed to form a subcommittee to work with security agencies, and former immigration boss Muhammad Babangida has called for a think tank of retired generals to advise on strategy, even as the military reports eliminating over 1,700 terrorists across the Northwest over the past 3 years. Elsewhere, the National Economic Council has strongly advocated for an overhaul of Nigeria's livestock production system, seeing the outdated methods are at the heart of deadly clashes between herders and farmers. Vice President Chetima chaired the meeting in Abuja, where Bayelsa Governor Doye Diri revealed that the council is backing a shift toward modernized animal husbandry, citing the escalating violence in Plateau, Benue, and Kwara states. The council also noted that the newly created Ministry of Livestock Development aimed to generate up to $90 billion in revenue by 2035 through its accelerated livestock development and growth strategy. Tensions in the Middle Belt have been exacerbated by land disputes, climate change, and identity-based politics, with recent massacres in Plateau State prompting accusations of genocide, while critics argue the violence stems from weak governance and competition for scarce land resources. Turning to Zamfara State, a deepening political crisis has rocked the State House of Assembly as two rival factions now claim legitimacy, each operating its own legislative sessions. A group of 10 suspended lawmakers, including members of both the APC and PDP, held a parallel session and elected Honorable Bashar Ali Yugumi as their speaker, issuing a 1 month ultimatum to Governor Dauda Lawal to address insecurity or face impeachment proceedings. The faction criticized the governor's failure to address rampant insecurity, poor welfare for security personnel, and mass stacking of over 4,000 civil servants, demanding and payment of outstanding entitlements. However, Speaker Biliaminu Moriki dismissed the breakaway session as unlawful, pointing to a court order to maintain the status quo, and arguing that the remaining lawmakers still form the only legitimate assembly, though the suspended members insist that the current assembly lacks the quorum to make valid decisions. The country is stepping up its counter-terrorism effort by adopting a high-tech solution known as the City Tech Plus initiative, designed to enhance security across the Sahel. The project, jointly launched by the Office of the National Security Advisor and the United Nations Office for Counterterrorism, is supported by Interpol and the European Union, which has committed £4.9 million in funding. Speaking at the Abuja launch, Major General Adamulaka of the National Counterterrorism Center highlighted the importance of staying ahead of increasingly tech tech-savvy terrorist network, while EU Ambassador Gauthier Mignot stressed the need for international cooperation in responding to modern threats. Over the next 2 years, City Tech Plus will assess the bolster Nigerian's law enforcement capacity, part of a broader international push to modernize the fight against terrorism through strategic coordination and digital innovation. The Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the arrest and remand of 6 promoters behind the collapse $1 billion Ponzi scheme crypto bridge exchange accused of defrauding thousands of Nigerian investors. The court, decided over by Justice Emeka Nwite, granted the EFCC's request following allegations that the group operating under the guise of ST Technologies International Limited promised 100% returns in 30 days to unsuspecting investors. According to EFCC, the company lacked regulatory approval from the Securities and Exchange Commissions and used a questionable strategy of demanding additional deposits just before restricting withdrawals and vanishing. 2 arrests have reportedly been made, with the Commission confirming that international agencies, including Interpol, are now involved in tracking other suspects, including a British national, as regulatory authorities warn the public against promoting unregistered investment schemes. Don't forget the news is coming to you from the studio of Swala FM at 104.9. It is time for a short break. Stay tuned. In Jigawa State, a 25-year-old man identified as Buhari Sule has been arrested by the police in Jahun local government area after allegedly killing his younger brother's wife with a pistol and injuring a neighbor's daughter during a violent episode. Police spokesperson SP Shiso Adam, in a statement on Thursday, confirmed the incident occurred on April 23rd and disclosed that Sule, who is believed to suffer from mental health issues, is currently in custody pending further medical evaluation. The attack led to the death of Sali, who passed away while receiving treatment at the General Hospital in Jahun, while the second victim, Hawa Al-Qasim, remains hospitalized. The police investigations are ongoing to the public to remain and have urged members of the public to remain calm and assist with any useful information as the case unfolds. The Hadejia Local Government Council has reaffirmed its commitment to education by distributing instructional materials and essential drugs to primary and junior secondary schools across the area, as part of efforts to align with Governor Malam Umar Ramadi's 12-point development agenda. Speaking at the event, Council Chairman Alhaji Ahmed Abbaari emphasized the need to support both parents and school authorities in enhancing teaching and learning while ensuring schools are equipped with basic first aid resources. Educational Secretary Alhaji Musa Garba announced that 53 primary schools will receive over 5,000 primary certificate sheets and lesson plan books, while 22 junior secondary schools will benefit from lesson plans, first aid kits, and educational materials for 950 female students. The gesture was warmly received by the school-based management committee, whose chairman Imam Aminu Hassan pledged the committee's commitment to putting the materials to effective use in promoting educational development in Hadejia local government. And now the international scene. The World Bank has projected a gradual economic recovery in sub-Saharan Africa, with growth expected to rise from 3.3% in 2024 to 3.5% in 2025, and then accelerate further to 4.3% between 2026 and 2027. However, this overall performance continues to be weighed down by sluggish recoveries in key economies such as Nigeria, Angola, and South Africa. Excluding these giants, the rest of the region could see growth as high as 5.7% by 2027, buoyed by improved household consumption, investment, and resilient service sectors, including ICT, tourism, and finance. Yet risks remain with inflammation disparities, climate shocks, and reduced global aid reaching progress, particularly in poverty reduction, as income per capita remained below pre-2015 level despite a modest decline in poverty rates. The United States is preparing a massive arms deal with Saudi Arabia worth more than $100 billion, according to a report by Reuters as cited by Premium Time. The package reportedly timely coincide with an upcoming Middle East visit by former President Donald Trump, will include advanced weapons like C-130 transport aircraft, missile system, and radars. Do not the F-35 fighter jet, which remains exclusive to certain allies. Defense giants such as Lockheed Martin and Boeing are said to be involved, and several executives are expected to join the delegations. Even as tension even as questions linger over whether the proposed pact will mirror previous restrictions on Chinese investment and arms imports. The deal marks a stark shift in Washington posture since 2018, when arms sales to Riyadh were curbed over the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, and the Yemen conflict sections now roll back in light of geopolitical realignments following Russia's war in Ukraine. Tensions are once again flaring between India and Pakistan, following a deadly attack in Kashmir Pahalgam town that left at least 26 people dead, prompting a series of diplomatic and military escalations, reports Premium Times. Exchange of gunfire was confirmed along the line of control, with Indian sources blaming Pakistan forces and Pakistani officials acknowledging the exchange without attributing blame as the UN urges maximum restraint. A group linked to Pakistan-based Lakshar-e-Taiba claimed responsibility for the attack, which has prompted sweeping security crackdowns, mass detention, and India's withdrawal from the Indus Water Treaty, met with Pakistani retaliatory measures, including airspace closure. Amid rising fears of broader conflict, leaders from the both sides are trading accusations with India vowing to bring the perpetrators to justice and Pakistan insisting it is being scapegoats, warning that any incursion on its sovereignty will be met with force. Would this with continue of destiny as the reason capital maker? The World Bank projects a concerning rise in poverty in Nigeria, forecasting a 3.6 percentage points increase between 2022 and 2027 due to over-reliance on resources, wealth, amid national fragility. In Jigawa State Police have arrested a 25-year-old man in Chapel local government area for allegedly killing his younger brother's wife with a pistol and injuring another person. And from the international, you have the United States preparing a major arms deal with Saudi Arabia worth over $100 billion, according to a research report. On behalf of the news department, our editor, Madam Kabir is very good. If you aren't on X, Nur Muhammad, I am Nafisa Bashir saying thank you for listening.